Sometimes, what we fear isn't the darkness itself, but what we imagine hides inside it. Carl Jung once said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." This isn't just a poetic line. It's a psychological truth, a call to confront the very things we spend our lives avoiding. In this video, we'll explore the deep Jungian concept of the shadow, what it is, how it manipulates our lives, and why facing it could be the most important journey of your life. Carl Jung developed the concept of the shadow to describe the unconscious parts of ourselves, the traits, emotions, desires, and instincts we reject or disown, not because they're inherently evil, but because they don't align with our self-image. From childhood, we are taught what is acceptable and what isn't. Be polite. Don't get angry. Don't cry. Don't be too loud. Over time, the parts of us that violate these rules don't vanish. They go underground, into the shadow. Think of it as a psychic basement. Every time you suppress an emotion, deny a truth about yourself, or pretend to be someone you're not, you're throwing something down there. We often label these repressed qualities as bad, but sometimes they're simply inconvenient. Creativity that threatens conformity, ambition that disrupts harmony, sexuality that challenges modesty. These parts are not wrong, they are simply denied. But here's the twist. The shadow doesn't stay buried. It leaks. It influences your decisions, your relationships, your emotional reactions. That burst of anger, that irrational jealousy, that moment you sabotage something good, that could be your shadow acting out. Jung wrote, "The shadow is a moral problem that challenges the whole's ego personality, for no one can become conscious of the shadow without considerable moral effort. To bring the shadow into the light requires humility, patience, and courage. You're not just facing old wounds, you're rewriting your entire story." Ignoring the shadow doesn't make it go away. It makes it more powerful. Like a child ignored too long, it starts acting out to get your attention. This is where projection comes in. You begin to see in others what you refuse to see in yourself. You hate the arrogance of your boss, not realizing you've suppressed your own desire to be assertive. You resent your friend's independence, because deep down, you fear being alone. You criticize others for being emotional, because you've been taught that vulnerability is weakness. The shadow uses projection like a vent. It finds its way out, just not in a healthy way. This plays out in relationships, careers, even political ideologies. The more we repress, the more distorted the world appears to us. We stop seeing reality. We only see our projections. And then there's the collective shadow. Jung believed entire societies have shadows. When we scapegoat, when we dehumanize, when we create enemies out of the other, we are watching the collective shadow at play. Consider history's darkest chapters: wars, genocides, ideological purges. These aren't random eruptions. They're the collective shadow, bursting through the seams. One powerful example is the witch hunts of the early modern period. Communities projected their unconscious fears of female power, of sexuality, of chaos, onto vulnerable women, labeling them witches. The shadow wasn't just individual, it was cultural. So how do we confront the shadow? Jung didn't believe in eliminating the shadow. He believed in integrating it. Integration means owning the parts of ourselves we've hidden. It means saying, yes, I am capable of anger. Yes, I have selfish desires. Yes, I feel envy, lust, pride. And that doesn't make me a monster. It makes me human. This is not about indulging your worst impulses. It's about recognizing them so they don't control you from the shadows. Therapy, journaling, dream analysis, shadow work exercises. These are tools to uncover the unconscious. For Jung, dreams were a direct line to the shadow. That recurring nightmare, that strange symbol. It might be your unconscious trying to speak, and when we listen, we reclaim power. There's a story Jung loved, the myth of the hero descending into the underworld. Whether it's Orpheus, Dante, or even Luke Skywalker, the hero must go into darkness to retrieve something valuable. Truth, love, wisdom. Your journey with the shadow is no different. Shadow work also requires compassion. When you meet a part of yourself that is hurt, ashamed, or angry, don't rush to fix it. Ask, when did I first feel this way? What was I taught about this emotion? Who told me I had to hide this? Sometimes the shadow is just a younger you, waiting to be heard. Here's the part people often miss. The shadow isn't just the home of your darkness. It's also the source of your creativity, intuition, power, and vitality. The same instincts that cause chaos when repressed can bring transformation when integrated. Your anger can become assertiveness. Your envy can reveal your true desires. Your fear can turn into courage. The poet Robert Bly called the shadow the long bag we drag behind us. Everything we hide, our tears, our wildness, our brilliance, gets stuffed into that bag. But what happens when we open it? We rediscover our authenticity. Many artists, poets, and visionaries have spoken of their darkest moments, becoming turning points. When the false self collapses, the real self emerges. One example is Frida Kahlo. Her art was born from pain, trauma, and illness, but through it, she transformed her suffering into beauty. That's the shadow, transmuted. Jung believed that hidden within the shadow are the seeds of your potential. When you integrate your shadow, you no longer live a fragmented life. You stop pretending. You become whole. This is what Jung called individuation, the process of becoming your true self, not the mask you wear, not the roles you play, but the full, integrated self. Light and dark, the philosopher Nietzsche echoed this sentiment when he said, "You must still have chaos in yourself to give birth to a dancing star." That chaos, that's your shadow. Shadow work begins with honesty, radical, unflinching honesty. Ask yourself, what am I pretending not to feel? What parts of me make me uncomfortable? What qualities in others trigger me the most? Your answers will point to your shadow. Then, observe. Don't judge. Don't suppress. Just notice. Awareness is the first step. Read your dreams. Write about your past. Explore the stories you tell yourself. And when you find something painful, an old wound, a buried rage, a hidden desire, don't look away. Sit with it. Listen to it. Ask what it needs. The goal isn't perfection, it's integration. You are not just your light. You are not just your wounds. You are both. And both are sacred. Start small. Keep a shadow journal. Practice mindful reflection. Notice your projections in daily life. What irritates you in others? What compliments make you uncomfortable? These are doorways inward. Most importantly, be kind to yourself. Shadow work is not about self-punishment. It's about self-reclamation. The journey to the self is not a straight line. It winds through shadow and light, through pain and insight, through fear and freedom. Jung didn't offer easy answers. He offered depth. And the truth that you're healing isn't found in running from what haunts you, but in turning around and facing it. Because in the heart of the darkness, you might just find the light you've been searching for all along. Don't fear your shadow, understand it, and in doing so, become whole.